Hi guys. Yeah, concerning this very particular video circulating online uh, regarding a particular lady who addressed Mr. Tony Elumelu as Tony, who addressed him by his first name as Tony. It sparked a lot of reactions on social media, and a lot of people had their own opinion concerning it. Some said she was very wrong, some said she did nothing wrong. I want to ask, do you, indeed, you please do make let me know what your opinions are on the comment section, and I'll let you guys know what my opinion is, what I think. I think she's very, very wrong to address Mr. Tony Ilumelu as Tony. You know, sometimes I don't understand this Gen Z generation. I don't know what is actually going on. How they've lost morality, they've lost discipline, they've lost respect. Like in those days while growing up, you will not even see an elderly person and address that elderly person by his first name. Is it that sir, ma, or brother, or uncle, or auntie? That's what we, while growing up, that's what we know of. But this Gen Z generation these days, they see nothing wrong. They've lost respect. Now, I was having a conversation with someone regarding that very issue matter, and the person, what she said to me was, and so, what was wrong? But she did nothing wrong. Is Tony not his name? I was like, did you really think about this thing very well? Because you see, Mr. Tony Elumelu is someone who is well respected. Aside that, this is somebody who has a lot of people under him. He has a lot of workers, even people who are older than him, people younger than him, people of the same age with him. And none of them will look Tony Elumelu and address him as Tony. To me, I think it's very, very disrespectful. And some when even when that video, I came across that video online, a lot of when I went to the comment section, a lot of people were saying, there's no big deal there. Some said this is very disrespectful. Some said it's not her fault, probably she schooled overseas. Even if she schooled overseas, don't you see, sometimes there's not everything that you'll be taught in school. If she, a girl of that age, could look at, obviously Tony Elumelu, Mr. Tony Elumelu is definitely older than her. If she could look at someone as Mr. Tony Elumelu and address him as Tony, how does she address her parents at home? How does she address her father at home? How does she address her elderly ones at home, if she has one? How does she address other people? And then they'll say, you know, sometimes we always want to compare the Western world, forgetting our discipline, forgetting this is Africa. When you thought this, so someone was saying probably she's school or abroad, overseas, where she's school, they don't call people sir, man. Some were even saying that, even the person I had the conversation with was saying that what's wrong. I must all these big men, they always attach respect to everything. Must they be called sir or man? Can you imagine? And this is somebody of this Gen Z generation making this statement. In those days, things like that were not brought up that way. We don't know about things like that. Even when you see an elderly person, even while speaking with that person, that you will not even be able to look at that person eyeball to eyeball. But these days, it's now become something else. I was even surprised that some are saying that they saw nothing wrong in that very particular video, and some who are saying she's school overseas. See, let me tell you, this is Africa. This is not overseas. Africans are known as people who are well respected, like the people who are bred up with respect. We have culture. It is not in our culture to disrespect people. It is in our culture to respect people who are older than us, people who are more mature than us. Now, for those of you who are saying maybe she's schooled overseas, that is nonsense. They say when you go to Rome, you behave as a Roman. Yeah, fine. Are you in Rome? That's the question. And when you, if you are in Rome and you behave as a Roman, when you get to Egypt, you don't need to be told to behave as Egyptians. So no matter where you have schooled, no matter where the country you have schooled, you don't need, when you are in Africa, if they accept disrespect over there in the Western world or in anywhere where you acquire education or where you lived or where you grew up from, then you can practice that there, but not in Africa. When you come to Africa, you just have to behave as an African person. You have to, because we are called ourselves, we are called called our elders respect. So that's one of this thing. She's good abroad. She did that is not an excuse. And kudos to Mr. Tony Elumelu for repelling that, for rejecting that, because that's exactly what somebody like me would do. Because and what did he say? He said, no, I don't, you shouldn't address me that way. I don't subscribe to such kind of Oyibo pattern. You get my point? So, and also, sometimes even these Gen Z, you see some people who you are far more older than, or even people who falls in your nephew's age mate, niece age mate. You see them, maybe they want to shout you up for the very first time. You just hear them say, hey. Someone I've got similar things like that on social media, where I had to call them to order. I say, see, when you are shouting an elderly person, or you want to strike a conversation with an elderly person, you don't use the word hey. You could rather say good morning, good afternoon, or rather hello or I think it's still a bit more, there's still a bit more respect in that than saying hey. And you see some of them, they would rather call you by your name. And again, parental, that girl, I honestly, I think she brought shame upon herself, her educational background or qualification, and even her parents, because you as an educator, that's why in that very video, yes, men looking at her, she's educated, she's probably a graduate and all that, yes. And then that goes to tell you that it's not everything that education is going to teach you. It is not everything that you're going to learn in school. There's a certain things which you will learn from your fellow humans, people who are more mature than people who have seen life before you, people who have experienced life before you. Now, when it comes to the other factor too is parental factor. Sometimes you parents, you need to know how you train your children, bring them up. Some of you parents just just bring a child to this world and leave everything to be done for the school to do for you. You think it's everything that they will teach kids in school? There's a certain parental upbringing you need to instill in your children. Even if your children are born and bred up abroad, teach, and then you are from Africa, let them know what the Africa culture is all about. Let them know that yes, you are called an elderly person respect when you see one. Let them know that you don't address an elderly person by their name, their first name. There's nothing wrong, there's no big deal in that very girl addressing Mr. Tony Elumelu as sir or Mr. If she happens to be one of Mr. Tony Elumelu's staff, will she just see Mr. Tony Elumelu in the morning and say, Tony, as if they are age mates? Number one, you are not age mate in any ramification of life. Mr. Tony Elumelu is far more older than you, far more has experienced life. In fact, this is somebody who is bigger than you in all ramification of life. So for you Gen Z generations who have taken disrespect as culture, try to understand that when you respect people who are older than you, your younger generation, the younger ones will also respect you. You cannot disrespect your elders and then you expect to be respected by your younger ones. So for those of you who are supporting that video that she did nothing wrong, what is wrong with what she did, you are very, very wrong. And if you check that comment section, for those people who said they saw nothing wrong with that lady addressing Mr. Tony Elumelu by his first name as Tony, go and check. There are this Gen Z generation. There are people maybe who were giving birth in the early 2000, 2001, 2003 and all that. But those who were bred, the millennials, I'll put it that way, or rather those who were have been in this world in their as from 80s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 90s and all that, will know that that was very, very disrespectful of her. So man, use Gen Z generation, you guys should know what respect is all about and respect elderly ones when you see them. Thank you very much, guys. That's my own opinion. Whatever you think or your opinions are, do feel free to let me know by the comment section, and let's respect each other's opinion while doing so. Thank you very much, guys.